mentioned central bank intervention once again. Interesting to note the shilling looking slightly stronger against the greenback. We're up around 1/4%. 5 million euros of intervention. Last week we saw $8 million. At the beginning of the week we saw a further 5 million euros bought up last week as well. Do you think that it's a trend that we're going to be seeing continuing down the line? We also know that the central bank is, of course, busy talking with the IMF for further funds to buy up reserves.
Basically, I think what the central bank is actually trying to do is actually build up the reserve. I don't think they're really concerned about maybe trying to suppress the strength of the shilling. So we will expect them to continue buying euros or dollars, whatever currency that they will buy. But I think the main goal and the main agenda is actually to just show up their foreign currency reserves. And we will see the shilling becoming stronger as we go into the rest of the week and to the following week, because there's no appetite, basically, some lethargic appetite on it, both on the demand and the supply side from the other sector of that market, which is the corporate side. So unless they come in again, we don't expect much change on the Kenya shilling.
Let's touch on the markets. We saw a loss once again today. Of course, we have been seeing the markets coming under slight pressure. Some attribute this to the fact that we're heading closer to the holiday season. Do you think it is a trend we're going to see continue as we close up the year?
Not actually. I think just a couple of distribution that is just happening here. Guys taking profits, capitalizing on their gains and stuff like that. Generally, if you look at the way Nairobi Stock Exchange operates, when you get to December, early December, mid-December, stocks start picking up again. So if I was an investor, this is the right time to go and pick up some value stocks as guys are taking profits and set yourself up. The trend will not continue to the end of the year.
Let's touch on clothing and home products. Retailer Deacon's launching an 800 million shilling IPO to fund expansion. Your view on this? Do you think it's the right move? Of course, also plans to head onto the market soon.
Okay, yes, I think they need to expand their business. They only have 23 stores in Nairobi, and basically they also need to expand into the region. With all this integration that is happening on the East African front, them moving also into the region will be good for them. They've not really given us the details of how they plan on using the 800 million shillings or the $10 million they plan on raising. But I think it's just to strengthen their brand, because they've captured a niche market, which is the high-end market of the Kenyan market, and really there are really no major competitors to them. So it's just a matter of strengthening their brand and expanding their business.
Reginald, we were talking to Paul Kavuma a little while ago, and we're talking about private equity funds and a big focus coming through on the consumer side of things when it comes to East Africa. From an investment perspective, are you looking at those consumer-related stocks for growth?
It's a bit difficult to separate consumer from the other sectors in the East African region, especially in the Nairobi Stock Exchange. But if you're looking at consumer-driven businesses, you'll go down to basically your agricultural sector and one or two companies outside the agricultural sector. And yes, there is enough room. Consumer demand and consumer spending has never really driven the economies. And as the economy develops, you find that is what starts happening. Consumers start becoming the biggest part of the gross domestic product of a nation. But I think East Africa as a region, and most African countries, maybe apart from South Africa and Egypt, are still slightly far away from the fact where we'll see consumers driving the economy. We will still see a lot of government taking a large chunk of the gross domestic product, agriculture and mining, and slowly the consumers will start moving in.
Reginald, just very quickly, looking at the weeks ahead, what are you doing in terms of portfolio management? Are you offloading some of your stocks and booking in some profits, or are you holding on as we head into the new year?
Personally, what I'm doing, I wish I was off the camera because I'm selling my strategy to the other guys. But basically, smiling and waving. I really can't take profits at this point in time because there's still a huge potential of higher profits as we go on. It's a slight market correction, no need to panic, so there's no reason to sell. Yeah. For excess funds, yeah, pick up some value stocks, average on some of the counters that you're holding.